वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्.
Radhe Krishna. Welcome to all of you on this occasion of the Global Festival of Divinity in Humanity, where today we are having yet another session in the Harikatha series, the Harikatha Saptaha Malika that we are having. In fact, of the Harikatha Saptaha, that today is going to be the last day, and tomorrow is going to be the grand finale with Guru Srimati Vishaka Hari herself. So all these days, right from the first day, we have been seeing the different Harikatha uh, aspects of various Krishna Leelas which have been presented by the Sishyas of Vijay Shri School of Harikatha. And once again, on behalf of Adhyatma Yoga, Advait Academy, and also Vijay Shri School of Harikatha, I take the privilege to welcome each of the divine souls, the devotees of Lord Shri Krishna, who have joined us today with all eagerness to listen to Shri Krishna's glories and his great pastimes. So we have seen Krishna Jananam, then the Bala Leelas of Krishna, then the Vrindavana Leelas, his Mathura Leela, Rasa Leela, and we have seen Rukmini Pariniyam, Rukmini Kalyanam yesterday. And today is a wonderful aspect to show how friendly Krishna was to his dear friend Sudama, and also how he was the Karuna Rasa Rupam. His Karunya is shown, how he's compassionate to people who need his support, who need his guidance. And that is the Bhakta Vatsalyam that we are going to see today on Kuchela Upakhyanam. And that will be followed by another enlightening talk by Professor B. Mahadevan, who is a senior faculty at Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, is going to speak on the management principles and insights of Shri Krishna. He is a great scholar, a former vice chancellor of Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth, and great scholar of management as well as Sanskrit and our text of Vedanta. And don't miss it. So we begin with the first session today on Kuchela Upakyanam on the Harikatha Saptaha Malika by Chiranjeevi Vignesh Chandrasekharan. I welcome Vignesh Chandrasekharan to present his Harikatha. And let me take the privilege of introducing him. He is a student of Vijay Shri School of Harikatha and trains in the art form of Harikatha under Srimati Vishaka Hari. He was introduced to Carnatic music at a very young age by Srimati Madhurambal. He is currently under the tutelage of Delhi V. Muthukumar. Vignesh is an engineering graduate of biotechnology and currently works for an IT company. He is very passionate about painting, reading, and listening to discourses and music. We have heard him perform before also a couple of times in the Kanchi Shri Mat, and also in the Vijay Shri Sishya series, which have been coming. In fact, he was one of the first one to be in the series under the guidance of Guru Srimati Vishaka Hari. So we are indeed today privileged to hear from him as well, the concluding session of the Saptaha Malika. And once again, I welcome Vignesh Chandrasekharan on behalf of Adhyatma Yoga, Advait Academy, and Vijay Shri School of Harikatha for today's session on Kuchela Upakyana. May the Lord bestow upon all of us Ayur Arogya Aishwarya Saukyam to each and everyone who is listening to this. And I also request all our friends to share about this program to more and more people, your friends, your contacts. In Tamil, we say Yam Petra Inbam Perigayu Vayagam. So whatever that we have got, let us share with everybody. You know, Sri Ramanujacharya, once he got the mantra, he went to the top of the tower, the Gopuram of Tirukoštiyur, Seravarir Jagattire, he immediately shared it to the entire humanity. So let's also share about this event to all our friends. Even now, the link which has been sent today, it's more easy to join through the Zoom than the earlier format that you used to get the email and all. So it's easy for everybody, even senior citizens, to click on the Zoom link and join in the live session, and you can share with them. If not, the Vijayshri School of Harikatha's Facebook page as well as the YouTube page is also available. So please share with everybody so that they can all benefit by hearing to Shri Krishna Katha. Radhe Krishna, over to Vignesh.
नमो नमः सद्गुरुभ्यः सद्गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः नमो नमः सद्गुरुभ्यः सद्गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः हरे रामेति कृष्णेति नाम संकीर्तनं सदा लोकक्षेमाय कुर्वन्तं प्रेमिकं सद्गुरुं भजे प्रेमिकं सद्गुरुं भजे योऽसौ दीनं कुचेलं द्विजवरमतनोत् सर्वसम्पत्समृद्धम् गृह्णन् तस्मान् च मुष्टिं पदकृतुकमयीं व्रीडिता सौहृदेन तं वैकारुण्यदितु भजत भुवि जना सर्वलोकैकनाथं तच्चित्सान्द्रस्वरूपं नवजलदनिभं श्रेयसे पद्मनाभं पद्मनाभम् யாதென்ன சொன்னாலும் அஞ்சாதே நெஞ்சமே ஐயன் கருணையை பாடு யாதென்ன சொன்னாலும் அஞ்சாதே நெஞ்சமே ஐயன் கருணையை பாடு ராகயாலாபனமுடனும் பாடு முடிந்தாலோடும் ஜதியோடும் ஆடு யாரென்ன சொன்னாலும் மஞ்சாதே நெஞ்சமே ஐயன் கருணையை பாடு முடிந்தார ஆலாபனமுடனும் பாடு முடிந்தாலோடும் ஜதியோடும் ஆடு அருமயன வந்த பிறவிகளோ பல ஆயுதம் தந்தாலும் வருமோ ஆதலினாரென்ன சொன்னாலும் மஞ்சாதே நெஞ்சமே ஐயன் கருணையை பாடு நாரதநாதம் வேதமும் நாட நாணக்குழல் ஒன்று ஊதுவார் நாரதநாதம் வேதமும் நாட நாணக்குழல் ஒன்று ஊதுவானவள் நீரத கழலாட கோபியரும் தந்தோருவன் தந்தனல்லவோ மேலை பிடியவனை வேணுமென்றே தெரிந்து மிகுதி ஒருவன் நன்று தந்தானல்லவோ காலமெல்லாம் தவம் இருந்து கழிந்து கனி கடித்து சுவை தோறுவள் தந்தானல்லவோ இந்த ஞாலமுமாயிரம் சொன்னாரும் நாமதை ஞாலமுமாயிரம் சொன்னாரும் நாமதை நமக்கு எதற்கு என்று தள்ளி நாமம் ஆயிரம் சொல்லி சொல்லி ஐயன் கருணையை பாடு ராகயாலவனமுடன் பாடு முடிந்தார் அடவோடும் சரியோடும் மாடு அருமயன வந்த பிறவிகளோ பல ஆயிரம் வந்தாரும் வருமோ ஆதரிவாரென்ன சொன்னாலும் மஞ்சாதே நெஞ்சமே ஐயன் கருணையை பாடு. Any devotee's prime motive is to please his Lord. But what does the Lord get pleased by? What is that particular attribute that we possess that interests him? Is it the wealth that we possess? Is it the great lineage that we belong to? Or is it the name and fame that we have got through the years? Or is it the beauty that we possess? Or is it any other attribute that interests him? Prahlada refuses all these and he says, Manyedana vidana rupa tapashutau cha teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga naradhanayaki bhavanti parasya pumsa bhaktya sudosha bhagavan gadayutapaya Manyedana vidana rupa tapashutau cha. Prahlada says, what is the matter for Bhagavan? Whether you belong to a great lineage or whether you have got so many degrees or you have a great bank balance, this does not interest him. Or you are so beautiful, you are valorous, you have a lot of strength, you have good people around you. This does not bother at all for the Lord. But what does it bother for the God that it pleases him, that interests him? Bhaktya sutosha bhagavan gadayudapaya. Bhakti, that pure love from his devotee's heart, that is the only thing that he is expecting from his devotees. Prahlada in other place also says, Priyate amalaya bhaktya hariranyatu vidambanam. All the others are extravaganza only for him. He is only pleased and he is only interested for the own love from his devotee's heart. Priyate amalaya bhaktya hariranyatu vidambanam. All the other things are not a material for him at all. So, the Gita, Bhagavatam, all reiterate that bhakti is the only path that is very easy to attain the Lord. A shloka from Padyavali that propounds the same idea that we share now. Rupa Goswami says, Pyadasya saranam dhruvasya davayaha vidya gajendrasya Kim tat Sudama bhaktya dushyati kevalam nadagunaihi bhakti priyo Vidyavadi Shlokam says, Yadasya Charanam. He gives a list of devotees. These list of devotees, he says, these devotees were not blessed because they had possessed very great qualities or very great attributes. They were simple, they led a very simple life, but they were devoted, they had pure love from their heart. They did not have any expectations. I do bhakti or I do this, I want something in return for it. No, they were not like that. So he says each and every devotee they were different by their nature. Guha did not practice he did not have any austere practices. But Rama says, Guhasya Atma Samastaka. He hugged him and he said, you are my best friend. But he did not have any practices as that of Vasishta or any other great people. But he says, Guhasya Atma Samastaka. So, Vyadasya Charanam. Dhruva, who was just 5 years old, and he did penance for only 5 months. So, age is not a attribute for this. So if age is a factor, then even 100 years, even 1,000 years is not age that can fetch you the darshan of that you can get the darshan of the Lord, vision of the Lord. Then the 5-year-old Dhruva had the vision of the Lord. What was it? It is because of devotion. Sri Dhruvasya Davaya Vidya Gajendra, who was a forest-dwelling elephant, and Gajendra Stuti from Srimad Bhagavatam is full of Vedanta, philosophy. From which Vedanta school did this Gajendra receive his education? But the Lord came flying to visit Gajendra and rescue from his misery. What was it? What was that thing but that made the Lord not to stay in Vaikuntha and came running to meet Gajendra? Bhakti Vidya Gajendra Kadadihi Vidurasya. Vidura was not far equally treated like Dhritarashtra, because the Kauravas thought that he did not belong to the royal family. He was born to a servant's maid. That's why they always treated him not equal along with his father, with their father Dhritarashtra. But Krishna, when he visited Indraprastha, he knocked the doors of Vidura and he partook the porridge along with him. Then what is it that made the Lord go to Vidura's place? Bhakti. Kajatihi Vidurasya Yadavadate Ugrasya Kim Paurusham. Kamsa's father, Ugrasena, he was weak, meek. He did not have the strength even to control Kamsa that Kamsa, whatever you are doing is wrong. Don't do this. But in turn, he was arrested and he was jailed inside for 10 plus years. And Krishna, who came and he killed Kamsa and then imprisoned, then he released Ugrasena, and Ugrasena was made the king of Mathura, king of Dwaraka. Till the end, Ugrasena was only the king and Krishna never became the king. Krishna always considered to be the servant of Ugrasena, and always he accepted the orders from Ugrasena. And what is that thing that he did not possess any valor. This Ugrasena was not very valorous, unlike the other Kshatriyas. So what made Lord fall in Ugrasena's feet? Bhakti. Kubja or Trivakra, she had a hunchback and she was a servant of Kamsa, and her work was to make sandalwood plates and offer to Kamsa. And Krishna took the sandalwood plates from her. She applied the sandalwood plates for Krishna, and in turn Krishna transformed her into a beautiful woman. And what beauty did she possess to attract Krishna's blessing? Nothing. Then what? Bhakti Kim Tat Sudama. Sudama was penniless. He did not have any money. for him to survive, but he was content, happy. What made him content and happy? Bhaktiya dudasha bhagavan bhaktiya dushyati kevalam nasa gunai bhakti priyo madhava. Amongst all these devotees, Sudama is one such great devotee whose charitra is the topic for the day. And we have taken Srimad Bhagavatam and Harikatamrita Lahari of Shri Anna as the prime source for today's Harikatha. And we'll also sing few bhajans and verses from great saints throughout India. अविरत विरसित हरिचरण सरसिज युगल चिंतनानंद विगलित भाष्पदाराद्रनयन कमल युगलस्य पुलकित स्वकले बलतुलसी तुलित कंटकी बलस्य संतत विगलित परिणामावृत धारांसित वदन प्रणाली भूषित शिरो निर्जित गिरीन्द्र शिखरस्य पुत्र कलत्रादि चिन्तारहितस्य दरिद्रस्यापि सदा सन्तुष्टस्य पादवतोत्तमस्य कुचेल विख्यातस्य दिव्यं चरितं कीर्तयिष्यामः सुदामनेंबुरुव ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮದ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಕೋದಿಯಲ್ಲಿಗಿಲ್ಲ ಆಸನವಿಲ್ಲ ಗದ್ಗದ ನಡುವುದ ಮಧುರ ಮಾತಾಡುದ ಸದಣ ಒಳಿದಿರುದನಾಗ ಪ್ರಾತಃ ಕಾಲೇದ್ದು ನಿತ್ಯ ಕರ್ಮದ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ನಾಯನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಲೇ ಸುಧಾಮನೆಂಬುರುವ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮದ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ. This Sanskrit Gadyam is from Sri Anna's Harikatamrita Lahari, and this Kannada verses are from Sudama Charitre of Purandaradasa. Sri Purandaradasa has written the entire Charitram of Sudama. He says, Avirata Virasita Haricharana Sarasija Yugala Sintanananda Krishnasya Takatachid Brahmano Brahma Vittamaha. There was a one who was learned person in a village of Sudamapuri, which is present day called as Porbandar. He was content, he was happy, but he was penniless. At the same time, he was having a content life. He was married, he was having children. He was always engrossed in the meditation of Sri Krishna. He was a friend of Sri Krishna. He studied along with Sri Krishna in Sandipani Gurukula, and he always reminisces about the school days where he and Krishna used to share all the time together, walk together, play together, eat together. Every day and night they spent all the time together. Viraktaha indriyarteshu prashantatma jitendriyaha. He won over all his senses, and he was such a austere, learned person. Edirchayopapannena vartamano grihashrami. He was following the Ajagara Vritti, which is specified, which is mentioned for the sannyasis. That is, they will accept or partake the bhiksha, whatever they receive. That is, they don't go begging for alms in each and every house. Even Kuchela does not go for uncha vritti for each and every house. He is content, he stays in his home, and if someone knocks the door and gives some food for them, Kuchela accepts it with very humble, with humility, and he is leading a very content life. Sudama was such a great person that his happiness, even sannyasi could not attain that happiness that's there in his heart. What made him to be so happy? That Krishna Dhyana that made him always happy. He used to call his wife every now and then and say, Kalyani name is not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, but Sri Anna used to call Sudama's wife as Kalyani, and we'll all henceforth address Sudama's wife as Kalyani. So Kalyani is always called by Sudama every now and then. Kalyani, do you know who I am? I'm Krishna's best friend. I studied along with Krishna. We used to spend all the time together. And Kalyani knew the value of what Sudama was telling. She knew value of Shri Krishna, and she also knew value of Sudama. And she used to cherish, and she felt very blessed to be the wife of Sudama. And she shed happy tears every time Sudama mentioned about Krishna. And again, Sudama used to call Kalyani. Kalyani, do you know who I am? I am the friend of Shri Krishna. Kalyani never got bored of Sudama's always calling her and telling about Shri Krishna. Kalyani, do you know who I am? Kalyani never said. She never got busted and said, no, Sudama, oh Swamina, what are you going to say? Are you going to say that you're the friend of Krishna? You have been telling this all the day. She never told like this. She knew the value of Krishna. So that is Tasya Bhajya Kutelasya Shukshamasa Katavida. This one sentence encapsulates the character of Kalyani. The whatever character that we mentioned for Sudama is all present for Kalyani. One day she came to Sudama, but she was very hesitant. She was very hesitant to approach him. She went to meet Sudama, but she went back to the kitchen. She went near him, but she feared to talk to him. Then she was very hesitant. What will Sudama think about me? Will he think very bad about me? Then he went inside the kitchen, and Sudama noticed this. And he called Kalyani, do you want to talk something to me? Please feel free to talk to me. Then Kalyani gathered some courage and she told, Nanu Brahman Bhagavataha Saka Sakshat Shriyapadihi Nanu Brahman Bhagavataha Saka Sakshat Shriyapadihi Brahmanyasya Saranyasya Bhagavan Sattva-darshabhaka Brahmanyasya Saranyasya Bhagavan Sattva-darshabhaka. Oh my Lord, isn't Krishna your best friend? Sudama asked. Kalyani, I have been saying this all day, all my life, that I am cherishing every now and then. I am the friend of Shri Krishna. What question are you asking me? Nothing. I just wanted to ask you something. Don't you feel like going and meeting Krishna even for once? Kalyani, I am always seeing Krishna in my heart. That is true, my Lord. Won't you feel like going and meeting him in Dwaraka for once? We know that Krishna is very busy in his administrative and political work. He is the king of Dwaraka. But we can go and meet him, right? By the means of embarking a pilgrimage to Dwaraka, by the walking through the roads of Dwaraka, your legs will get fulfilled. The purpose of your legs will be fulfilled. Offering something, some gift to the Lord, your hands will be fulfilled. For the purpose of your hands will be fulfilled. Seeing the Lord's effulgent beauty, your eyes will be purposeful. Hearing the Lord speak, Sudama, have you come to meet me? Why did it take so much time for me to come and meet me? Then your ears will be filled with nectar, and all your senses, your limbs will be fulfilled, and it will be purposeful. Sudama was very happy. Kalyani, you did not propose me this idea any day. What made you to tell this particular day? Kalyani said, I think the Lord wants to meet you. That he is making me as a tool to drive you to Dwaraka. Sudama got up and he got ready to embark for the Dwaraka. But Kalyani, do you have something to offer for the Lord? Do you have something? Is there anything to offer for the Lord? Apya supayanam kinchid grihe kalyani diyata yati svatadura mushti vipran prudupatandura. Kalyani was also very careful in not hurting the sentiments of Sudama. Sudama should not feel that Kalyani is pestering him to get some money for the family. So Shri Anna's Kirtanam says, Brahmanya Devava Premikavatsalaga Pranata Siharaga Padmalolaga Pada Pada Gamanam Smarato Vinilaga Pradadari Swam Bhuvane Kapalaga Prana Vallabha Dwarakamyahi Gadavana Pite Pranatakoti Dina Dayanu Dwarakanatahu Krishna Davaraya Nayana Kamalam. This entire Kirtanam reflects Srimad Bhagavata Shloka. Smarataha Padakamalam Atmanam api Yachati. Padakamalam Smarato Vinilaka. Since Kalyani knew the value of Shri Krishna, Krishna is the Parabrahman, she will not ask for money and all from Krishna. So she said, even if you meditate upon the Lord's feet, he will give his devotees himself to his Lord. What about these wells, all these houses and all? It's not at all a matter. It's only his meditation, his dhyana that is the matter. So Kuchela asked, Sudama asked whether you have something to offer for the Lord. Kalyani was aghast. She didn't know what to offer for the Lord. She went running inside the house. She saw inside the boxes. She found nothing. She knocked the doors of her neighbors. Mommy, my husband is embarking to Dwaraka. Do you have something to offer to the Lord of Dwaraka? And she got 4 handfuls of flattened rice, which is aval, and she tore a piece of cloth from her sari itself and she made it into a bundle, and then she mixed all her emotions and love along with the aval and she gave it to Sudama. Sudama walked through the roads of Dwaraka. Jai Jai Vitala Panduranga, Jai Jai Hari Vitala Panduranga, Jai Jai Vitala Panduranga, Jai Hari Vitala Panduranga. Sudama was incessantly chanting the name of the Lord, and finally he came to Dwaraka without any tiresome, and he was shocked and he was surprised to see the palatial Dwaraka with all palaces made completely of gold and precious stones studded. Even the floorings and all were made of precious gems, and all the orchards, groves, and the rivers, that is Govati river that is flowing and surrounded by the sea. Tatra maragada komedana vaidutya pushparagadi manigana katitra viditra kavastratam Sambata Bahuvida Mantava Parimandite Ai Magapata Prakadita Vaibhava Nitya Lakshmi Milate Padikamaya Vikti Pradibimbita Patikayada Mandale Kaljugi Ganarandita Radadvare Sopavara Grida Pradiksha Mahipala Mahajana Mahine Parijata Mandara Patana Ashoka Paridita Paridara Paravrita Paravritadi Padatri Vrinda Paramande Shivadi Krishna Bhavane Swadaridrya Samutpanna Sankoja Bhava रकितलय गृहीत पृथुक प्रतरांसिकः प्रतीक्षित परम पुरुष समागमः बाष्पपूरित विलोचनः क्षणं तत्सौत भगवतोत्तमः all the doors of even Dwaraka was made of solid gold and studded with gems. Today, if the robber came there to rob, he would rob everything inside the house and also take the doors which is made of gold. They were all completely covered with trees, with fruits hanging and flowers everywhere, and Gomati river with profuse water flowing, and it was so beautiful. Every house was so beautiful. And Sudama was surprised to see which house belonged to Sri Krishna. And he was looking at each and every house, and while he crossed by a house that looked like a pearl amongst all the houses, and he knew that this would be Sri Krishna and Rukmani's Bhavanam. And he walked towards the Bhavana, and there were bodyguards outside, and there was a waiting room beside it. And people were talking there, and they were ambassadors of particular country, particular desha sitting there, and they were chatting together. And they talked among themselves so that Sudama can hear whatever they are speaking. They wantedly talked very loudly. Looking at Sudama, I have come from Nepal. The king of Nepal has sent me 100 carpets studded with gems to be offered to the Lord. Then the other person said, I have come from the province of Kashmir, and the king of Kashmir has sent 100 bags of saffron. You would haven't even seen a box of saffron. I have brought 100 bags of saffron to be offered for the Lord. The other person who is sitting, he said, I have brought a truckload of cardamom from Kerala. The Kerala king has sent him a truckload of cardamom to be offered to the Lord. Sudama heard all these, and he looked into the pouch, the bundle that he had stuck into his waist. I have brought 4 handfuls of flattened dry aval. How am I going to get the darshan of Krishna? Let me leave back to Sudamapuri. And he turned back and he walked. Then the bodyguard stopped him. Swamina, why are you leaving? I thought I would not get the darshan of Lord. You are most welcomed. What? All these ambassadors from this princely state, they are waiting here for 1 year, 6 months, 4 months. They have brought so much. One have brought 100 carpets, other brought. All these gifts are value for Shri Krishna darshan? Our Krishna's order, our Bhagavan's order is that any poor, learned person should be sent immediately inside the chambers. Aha, what a character Krishna has. Sudama was so happy, and he shed happy tears for Krishna's character. He was not boasting with pride, saying, I will meet only people of my same status. Has he ordered you to send all the poor and learned people to see him immediately? What a great man he is. You can go inside, Swamin, say the bodyguard. But Sudama was reluctant, and he felt shy to go inside the chamber. Dear people, can you say that I have come to meet him? The bodyguard said, if I go and say to Krishna that someone I have come to meet you means, who is that person? What he has, who is that person? Tell him that Sudama, who studied along with him in Sandipani Gurukula, has come to meet him. Okay, I'll go and tell Shri Krishna that Sudama has come. Sudama was waiting outside the chamber, and the bodyguard went inside him. Shri Anna describes in a shloka how the chamber looked. It was so lovely. Tatra Shrimati Mandire Bhagavan सौवर्णमंसे सुखौ वैष्णेलालित पादव पल्लवयुगो वामाकृता लिङ्गणः तस्थौ चन्दनरूषितः सुवसनः शृङ्गार लीला वीणा वेणुमृदङ्ग गीतरसिकः स्वप्रेयसी संवृतः संवृतः तत्र श्रीमतिमन्दिरे स भगवान्. The inner chamber of Sri Bhagavan was all made of Chandrakanta stones. The Chandrakanta stones would reflect the reflection of moon, and it will make the room completely cool to the atmosphere. It will change according to the atmosphere that is there outside. And there were all lamps that are lit around the chamber, and there were incense fumes that engulfed the entire room. There was scent of sandalwood, saffron, and there were floral decorations throughout the chamber. And amidst all this, there was a sandalwood string with golden rings that are attached to it. And the sandalwood string above it was a white Payapena Nibha Shaya, white colored bed with red colored dintel, the pillow on top, and Krishna, who was black effulgent, and he was laying on it with one hand on his head and the other hand stretched on his leg, and he was fully decorated with decked with all jewelries from toe to head. And after this royal darbar, he has removed his crown and he has kept it aside, and he was lying on the swing, and Vaishmi, who is Rukmini, who was fanning him, and Jambavati, who was there folding betel nut leaf for him, and all the other Mahishis were singing, they were playing veena, some were playing mridanga, and amidst all this beautiful atmosphere, there was a translucent screen that was separating the Bhagavan and the bodyguards. The bodyguards came inside. Jaya Vijay Bhava Rajanne Maharajanne. There is a poor person who has come to see you. Bhagavan did not even respond, because many people will come. There is a poor person who is standing outside. Bhagavan inquired, who is this? Who is he? That poor person says that he studied along with you. Krishna got up. He was so thrilled to know who is it. Who is that person? That person who is very old and poor, learned person says he is Sudama, who learned from the Sandipani Gurukulam along with you. They hadn't even finished this. And when Krishna heard the name Sudama, is that Sudama? Sudama has come to meet me. Sudama. And he was shouting all along the way to the doorway. And Sudama, hearing all this, Bhagavan is shouting his name. He came inside, and both of them met in between. And Sri Krishna saw Sudama, and he hugged him close to his heart. Sakyu priyasya vipravishe angasangadi nirvritaga prito vyamunchayat bildu netrabhya pushkare he was speechless, and his eyes were profusely with tears. Sudama, have you come finally to meet me? Why did you take so long time to meet me? You know that I am the king of Dwaraka. Why did you take so much time to meet me? And Sudama was dumbstruck. He didn't have any words. Sudama thought whether Krishna would recognize me even as a person. But now Krishna has recognized me, and he asked, why did you take so long time to meet me? And Krishna dragged Sudama by his hand and he placed him on his Simhasana and said, please come here. Rukmini, why are you there? Come here, come here. Bring that Argya Bhagya Asamaniya plate. Bring it for Sudama. And they laid a golden plate, and the Bhagavan placed Sudama's the legs on the golden plate, and by Sri Rukmini is pouring the water, and Sri Krishna is doing the Pada Seva. Swagatam Swagatam Bhagavatottama Swagatam Swagatam Brahmana Sattama Adya me jalma sapalahu tumate Adya me pitaro modante Adya me deva vidadate Adya me hridaye radhate Swagatam Swagatam Bhagavatottama Swagatam, Swagatam. This is a kirtan from Harikatha Martalahari of Shri Shri Anna's word. He says, Swagatam, Swagatam. My Pitrus have Akshaya Tripti. They have attained Akshaya Tripti. My entire lineage have attained Akshaya Tripti. I am most fortunate. I am blessed today. All my Kula Devatas have blessed me immensely, abundantly today. Sudama, a warm welcome to you, Sudama. Come. You have walked so long to meet me. Go take bath first. Here is the dhoti for you, a new dhoti for you. Sudama was dumbstruck. He did not have any words. He was crying profusely. He was crying. He didn't know what to react, what to speak. Sudama took bath and he wore the new dhoti. And he came outside. Sudama, let's come. Let's eat together. It's been a very long time we have ate together. Come. And he drew him to the royal dining hall, and he placed Sudama in front of him, and he placed the banyan leaf, and he called Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Mitravinda, Kadisi, everybody. He ordered everybody to serve for Sudama, and all of them served to Sudama. Kulya Kuba Baralattuka Modakaischa Savyanjanaischa Bahubihita Javatupai Aldena Dukta Darikalda Ristrutadivischa Sambodayan Dvidavaram Mudamava Krishna. Krishna ordered, Rukmini, payasam, put payasam for him. Jambavati, put kosamali for him. Mitravinda, bring vada. Now it's only prepared just now. It's so hot, I think. Sudama, be careful. And serve him kesari and put in that sweet. And he ordered every person he ordered all his wives, the royal Patta Mahishis, all Ashtalakshmis. He ordered everybody to serve the Sudama. There is Saint Narottama Dasa from Sri Vrindavanam. He is a disciple of Jiva Goswami. He has described this particular scene in his verses. One of them served payasa, which looked like the Sharad Purnima Chandran, that was as white as the Sharad Purnima Chandran. And dusre barose baad dono surabiko one of them served ghee rice. Phule puluka prabul dhuti mandki. Flour like puffed rotis. Pulka, they served him pulkas. Papar mongri bhara vyanjan anek bhati. Different vegetables. And papad was served. And Krishna ordered every one of his Patta Mahishis to serve Sudama. And Sudama didn't even know the name of dishes of many of these. He didn't know what to eat, what not to eat. and he was crying profusely of Krishna Kripa, and he didn't know how to respond to all these. He finished the lunch, and then Krishna offered him betel nuts. He ate, and he went to the veranda to take rest. Krishna said, Sudama, where are you going? There is a room for us. Come, let's go to our room. He grabbed Sudama by his hand and he opened his door, the inner chambers of Sri Krishna, personal inner chambers of Sri Krishna, and he asked Sudama to rest in his bed. Sudama was reluctant. He was hesitant even to touch the bed that Ganga Dwaraka Sri Krishna lay along with Rukmini. But Krishna pushed Sudama on the bed and he grabbed the legs of Sudama and kept on his legs and he started massaging Sudama. Sudama, it's been a very long time that we have met. How are you? How are you doing? Sirakalena darsanam praptam jivitam sabalam Kutela. It's been a very long time that we have met. How are you doing, Kutela? Dino Gautava darsanam tatum agatavanati Gopala. Krishna, I'm doing very well, Krishna. What am I to speak? I'm so overwhelmed by all these, and I lead a peaceful life because of your grace, Krishna. Kimva smarasi purvam guru kule patam avayo kutela. Kutela? Sudama, do you remember our school days? Do you remember our Guru Mata? What do you remember that one particular day? What happened? Do you remember? Yes. We were ordered to bring firewood for the cooking of Guru Mata, and we went to the forest. We gathered all the firewood, and suddenly it started raining, and we kept all the firewood inside a tree hollow, and there was only one shovel that we covered both our parts, and we were shaking from the cool of the rain. And the next day, our Guru Sandipani was searching for us in this forest. Sudama, Krishna, where are you? Where are you, my children? He came searching for us, bearing a torch in his hand, and we told Gurunatha, we are here. And he came and looked at us, and like we were completely drenched in with the rain. And he took his towel and he wiped all over us, and he said, "Why have you done this? And why is this all logs of wood not wet? And why have we got drenched in rain?" We said we kept this logs of wood inside the tree hollow so that it will not get drenched in the rain, and we got drenched in the rain. Our Gurunatha was so pleased. He was so very pleased with us, and he blessed wholeheartedly, saying, what Guru Bhakti do you both of you have? I bless you with all happiness throughout the life. Sudama, do you remember that day when he blessed wholeheartedly? It is because of his blessings that we are leading a happy life. Not because that I am a Dwaraka Risha and you are a pauper. We are leading a happy life just because Krishna blessed, our Gurunatha blessed us. I remember. Ushati Tamesya Sadeshika Tilako Dushvagasman Ihavalitan Vipine Modaparito Anugrahamakaro Atikarunadra Dharanehi Manasa Marati Pura Guru Vanita Vachasa Gatamasma Bihi Vanamavi Tarasa. These are the words. There's a Kirtanam from Swati Dhrina's Kuchelopakyam. He has written an entire Kuchelopakyam as a Harikatha format. He says, Ushati Samayasya Sadeshika Tilako. He recounted all this complete episode here. And Krishna continues, Mritva, Gopulava, Gurukula, Divam Karomi, Gopala. How can I forget that Gurukula Vasam Krishna? How can I forget? It is a cherishable moment of my life. I always cherish these. Kutela, you're wearing Panchagatam. Looks like that you've got married. Tell me about your wife and children. Grihini tu guna anurupam Praptavana diva kuchela. Krishna, it is all because of your blessing. I've got a lovely wife, and I'm blessed to children who always listen to your leelas and pastimes, Krishna. They only eat only if I tell Krishna Leela for them. Kripaya Madhava Vahasyam Me Paramanukulam Gopala. Next, Krishna asks Kimupayanam Medatum Adikam Tavabhavanadiga Kuchela. Your wife should have sent you something offered to for offering me. Any gift? Have you brought any gift? He is the king of Dwaraka. He has fought all the enemies like great enemies like Jarasandha. But still Krishna remains to be like a child. Have you got any gift for me, Sudama? And he's searching. Sudama, is he carrying something for me? He's searching. Sudama, every now and then he's shedding tears, and he grabs the upper garb of him, and he wipes the tears, and Sudama stuck the bundle of aval in his pouch, the pouch in his he has stuck it in his hip. And every now and then when Sudama is wiping his tears, Krishna is noticing there is a bundle that is stuck in Sudama's waist. So what is this, Sudama? What is this? He grabbed that bundle, and he was opening that bundle, and Sudama was upright. Is everyone around me going to laugh, saying, yeah, what is this? What is this he has brought? This dry aval. She Anna would jokingly say, he would have at least made aval kesari and brought for Krishna. But he has brought this dry aval for Krishna. What is this? Krishna was so happy to open and see that it was aval, and it is favorite aval that he has brought. How did you know that I love this thing? Sudama, this is called evil, right? This is evil, right? No, Krishna, this is called aval. This is aval, right? I have been searching for this for a very long time. I have asked Jambavati, I have asked Rukmini, I have asked for Rukmini for a very long time, that my Guru Mata used to make one thing, Rukmini. I don't know the name of it, but it looks flattened, looks white in color. I know they were all raised up in a rich family. They were all princes, right? They don't know how to make aval. You only know that what I like, and you have brought that aval for me. But you know only my heart, Sudama. Nanvedam me pravarava priyanam parama priyanam take. You are the only person who knows that what likes me the most. Sudama was completely shocked. He didn't have any words. Krishna grabbed a handful of aval and he put it inside his mouth. And he took the next hand, and Rukmini stopped Krishna by his hand and said, isn't this one hand fistful of aval not enough for Sudama to become a Kubera? Is it that one handful of this aval not enough for him to become a multimillionaire? And Krishna put that back into that bundle, and he gave all the avals as a prasadam to all his 16,108 wives. Purandaradasa says in Sudama Charitra that he gave it as a prasadam for all his wives. Then the next day, Sudama left Dwaraka, and he said, Krishna, I'm leaving. I don't know how to respond to react all these blessings. I'm leaving, Krishna. I'm leaving. And Krishna came till the doorway, and he said, Sudama, we will meet regularly, Sudama. Let's see another time. Let's catch up another time. And Sudama was also crying, and Krishna was also crying. Sudama walked through the roads of Porbandar, and he was thinking all the time, what have I done to deserve all these blessings from Krishna? Nane ke badavanu, nane ke paradeni, Shini Devari Anageni Niruvasanaka Nane Badavanu Putisida Sai Sande Ishamitra Nunine Asabanda Utara Kadavanu, Krishna, I have stolen all your blessings without offering anything. I am the poorest of the poorest in doing bhakti, Krishna. How do I deserve this, all this? Vaham daridram papiyan wa Krishna Sriniketanē Brahma bandhuriti smaham bahuvyam parirambita. Sudama was shedding tears profusely and he came back to Porbandar, Sudama Puri, and he saw that his house was not existing there. And there is a big mansion, there is a palace similar to that of Rukmini Krishna Bhavanam is there in place of his hut. Sudama thought that, oh, while the time when we left to Dwaraka, some rich people came here and they threw away all the things and they asked Kalyani and our children to vacate this place and they have built a mansion here. And he looked it closely, but it resembles like, is this resembling like Krishna's Bhavanam? And at the same time that he was thinking, there were Vaidikas, Purna Kumbham, and there's Nadaswaram and Tavil din 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 din. They were walking towards him and they were offering Swastivachanam to Sudama. And Sudama was looking back, is there any, the VIP who is coming, they are offering Purna Kumbham. The Vaidika said, Swamina, it's for you. Accept the Purna Kumbha. And Sudama was surprised. Why are you offering? This is your Bhavana. Is it my house? And the children came running outside. Appa, look at me, Pa, look at me. I'm wearing a gold chain. I'm wearing silk kurta. Look at our house, Pa. It is not the same ricketted, it's dilapidated house that we used to live in. It's a palace now. Come inside, Pa, come inside. It is dragged inside. And Sudama was seeing it was completely made of gold and silver studded with gems. Sudama did not look into it as silver or gold or gems. He looked into it as Krishna Kripa. Everything that he looked into was Krishna Kripa. And Surdas, who says, who on earth will respect a person like me? Vagat Sudama Suni Sudari Hariminan Naman Bitare Haribin Kon Daridra Kare Udi Bait Hari Taldulani Mogina Bachana Pure Surdas Lachi Dari Kripa Kari Tharini Dina Chare Haribin Kon Daridra Hare. Who else than Hari, who has given me so much blessing? What I have done to deserve all this blessing? Hari bin kon daridra hare kahat Sudama suni suldari Hari milan naman vitare Hari bin kon daridra hare. Kalyani felt like hugging Sudama, but she felt shy and Shuka says, Manasa Parishasvade, she hugged him, Sudama, not because he has brought all this silver and gold, not because he has made this hut into a palace, but because Krishna would have hugged Sudama, and I will be fortunate enough to hug Sudama, and I will be equally fortunate if I hug Sudama. And she felt shy and she hugged by him by heart, Manasa Parishasvade. And Sudama says, Tasyaiva me sauhrida takyamaitri dasyam punar janmani syat mahanubhavena gunalayena vishajyatasya purusha prasangaha. Krishna, I don't want all these wealth. I want your eternal servitude. I want to remain as your servant for 7 lifetimes, Krishna. And from Sudama's Charitram, the carry-on message is that Bhakti is that which can even move mountains, and Krishna is only pleased by Bhakti. All these 7 days, we have been enjoying this Saptaham, and we all, students of Srimati Vishakhamani, we offer this Saptaham to our Gurus and Shishi Anna, and in the feet of Shri Radhika Ramana Bhakta Kolahalan. And tomorrow being Radhastami, we offer this Saptaham to Bhakta Kolahalan. Srimad Bhagavatamrita Hari Sammohitai Vaishnavai Bhakti Jnana Virakti Purna Hridai Shri Krishna Leela Priyai Devyam Kirtana Nartanadi Radhikai Saptaha Yajñotsave Venati Ragupetya Pasyadalana Shri Bhakta Kolahalam Shri Bhakta Kolahalam Shrimate Dwarakesaya Swamine Varamaline Sudama Surde Bhuyade Mangalam Dina Bandave Dwaraka Nagaresaya Kuchela Vishtadaine Rajadiraja Devyaya Govindaya Sumangalam Gopika Ramanaya Komala Saranaya Gopa Gogata Poshanaya Gokudavasaya Govardhanesaya Shrimate Bhakta Kolahalaya Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam Brahmadi Vinutaya Premaika Nilayaya Pranatati Haraduya Vikshanaya Bhaktabdi Sangraya Vrindavaneshaya Shrimate Bhakta Kolahalaya Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam Madhuri Ramanaya Mandula Saranaya Mahaniya Sevya Jana Vaibhavaya Nanda Santanaya Navanagaraya Shri Vrindavaneshaya Krishikaya Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam Premikendra Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai
Radhe Krishna. It was yet another divine experience for all of us to hear Shri Vignesh Chandrasekharan bring to us Kuchela Upakyanam, quoting from wonderful scriptures of Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as the Harikatamrita Lahari of Shri Krishna Premi Maharaj, our Guru Shri Anna, as well as it was interesting to know that the same Upakyanam has been taken by great many saints like Purandara Dasa in Kannada as Sudama Charitre, and even Swati Tirunad, who was the great king, as well as Padmanabha Dasa at Trivandrum, had also composed Sudama Charitre or Kuchela Upakyanam in Sanskritam as well. And very nicely could quote from, it could be Narottama Das, or in the beginning from Sri Rupa Goswami, and various bhajans and compositions from across the country from various languages. That's a rich cultural heritage of the Bhakti tradition that we have. The same thing, how different saints have experienced. It could be the Alvars of Tamil Nadu, the Dasas of Karnataka, or the Bhakti Margis of Maharashtra, or even from Gujarat, even the Northeast, you see Shankar Dev and all who have given a lot of nourishment to Bhakti Sampradaya with their own compositions. Every time they take it is, they fit into Kuchela themselves, they fit into the, Draupadi themselves, or Ajamila, or Prahlada, or Dhruva, and then they experience that oneness, that bhava with that devotee, and they compose the songs. And that's where, when you tell stories of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is not complete without the compositions of these great Bhagavatottamas. And all the 7 days, it was a divine experience for all of us to listen to Krishna's pastimes, Krishna Leela. It was really Krishna Karnamritam for all of us, for each one of us to enjoy this from the Sishyas of Vijay Shri School of Harikatha. So far, for all these years, we were hearing the great Guru Srimati Vishaka Hari, and now her parampara, her Sishyas have started bringing this, is giving us wonderful joy and a delight to hear from all of them. And everybody have taken, as somebody had rightly mentioned, I think she Ramesh had mentioned about wonderful research which each one of them do. It's not just like that they come and narrate a story. How the compositions are there in different languages by these Mahatmas. What is said in Bhagavatam, what is said in Harikatamrita Lahari, what is said in Govinda Katamritam, all those to take, learn, and then to come and narrate. And it's not that they're all only doing this. We see each one of them. Some of them were just, who had completed her plus two. Some of them in their engineering, a medical student, PhD doctoral student, and a software engineer, and a biotechnologist, and all these people with their professional laurels, which they are doing. Along with that, these youngsters have taken into this path under the guidance of the right Guru, Srimati Vishaka Hari, and we are very privileged, blessed that we got a blessing of being a part of this yajna, the 1 week Harikatha Saptaha Malika. When I had this thought, I have been seeing them weekly one satsang from a Sishya in the school of Harikatha, which have been coming. So when I was hearing all those, I was in a kind of excitement. I immediately approached our beloved Mani and said, why not? We are doing this 1 month long festival. It'll be nice to have them all, at least even the 30 days. I know that many Sishyas would be there. If for each day, if you can do it, if not, at least for 1 week as a Harikatha Saptaham by a different speaker. So that is how immediately Mani also, she rightly agreed. I was, really blessed to have the blessings of Mani immediately. And thanks to Nirmala ji, who took all the technical things of getting it organized for ever since we started this dialogue between Harikatha, between Vijay Shri School of Harikatha and Adhyatma Yoga and Advaita Academy. We have been constantly in touch and bringing things together. Even when there was a major technical difficulty from the Zoom platform yesterday, Nirmala ji came forward and then immediately did all the needful. And that's what Yoga Karma Sukhaushalam is, which we are going to hear from Professor Mahadevan soon. So once again, my humble pranams to Guru Srimati Vishaka Hari, Mani, whom we fondly call as Mani, and to all the 7 days, the 7 flowers which we have collected, all offered to Shri Krishna and our Guru Shri Anna, and to all Mahatmas of the Lord. So with this, tomorrow we are going to have the grand, I think the grand finale for this Harikatha Saptaha, what we have been having. She herself is a phenomenon person. So who's going to present on Shri Krishna as the global phenomenon tomorrow by Srimati Vishaka Hari. So I'm glad that today, the participants have reached to 100, and all of them tomorrow also. Please, tomorrow the full program is by Srimati Vishaka Hari, 6:30 to 8:30. So please do join us for the session tomorrow. And Radhe Krishna. We now move on to the next session by Professor B. Mahadevan on management insights and inspirations from Lord Shri Krishna. We have heard Shri Krishna in various dimensions, how as a Gopabala, how as Govardhanodhara, how he went to rescue people in danger and all those things that we have been hearing through all his leelas of the childhood pranks. And now Krishna growing to be a great strategist, a game changer, a management expert that he was, is what is seen in Mahabharata. And also that we see this aspect of Shri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, which he had been bringing forth. And when I thought of this, the Utsav is not just to bring the traditional wisdom, but it's a modern application as well. So today we are living in a world where management plays a great role, no matter whether you are having your startup or it's a small, even with yoga centers that what we kind of people are running, it involves a lot of management strategies and things which are involved. So Krishna's insights are very much required. We follow Krishna. And therefore, when I thought of this, I couldn't think of anybody else other than Professor B. Mahadevan, who is a senior faculty at IIM Bangalore, who is joined with us here. I welcome Professor Mahadevanji with my humble pranams to him. Such a great scholar, but yet down to earth that he had been. So he had been uh, serving in the IIM Bangalore for decades after his PhD from the IIT Chennai, and wherein not just he has been teaching operations management as a professor, but insights from our traditional wisdom of Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta he had been able to apply and offer courses in IIM where students would take. It's not just a co-curricular activity or satsang or something, but even a part of the curriculum of IIM that he was able to bring in Bhagavad Gita and management principles from there. And after that, he had been taking it across the world to various institutions, various forums, been part of various institutions and conferences and other thing. And all those took him to be a part of Samskrita Bharati as a Adhyaksha of Samskrita Bharati as well. And very eloquent that he is in Sanskritam to speak and bring out the insights from the Shastras and connect with the modern concepts of management and other principles. And also seeing all his great things, so probably the Chinmaya mission was very much impressed that they took him as the Honorable Vice Chancellor for the Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth, the university which was started on the centenary of Swami Chinmayananda at Kerala, at the right place of Adi Shankaracharya's Avatara Sthalam, and ably as a founder, Vice Chancellor of the Chinmaya Vidyapeeth, Vishwavidyapeeth, that he brought in all beautiful dimensions of the scriptural knowledge with the academic excellence there, and he had shaped it also in a beautiful way. Much to share about him, and I will be only speaking about him a lot for this work 1 hour. So he needs no introduction to the audience who gathered here from the circle of spirituality, from yoga, Vedanta, and all these circles is well known to all of us. And therefore, I restrict my introduction to Professor V. Mahadevan with this introductory note. And once again, my humble pranams to him. And on behalf of Adhyatma Yoga, Advait Academy, and all of us together here, welcome to you, sir. We are all eager to hear you. Dhanyavad.
Namaste. Om Vagartha Viva Sampraktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagata Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Harihi Om. Namaste to all the satsangis. Namaste to Subbu Bhaiya. In fact, I have been hearing this Harikatha for the last half an hour. I think it was not a good idea to stop it. It was so good. And I was reminded of this shloka when I was hearing Vignesh Sundarshekhar so beautifully he was narrating this Kuchela Sri Krishna Yoho Sammelanam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one shloka which is absolutely fascinating when we think of this. When Krishna did the Alinganam of Kuchela, there is one shloka. And when I talk about it, I have hair-raising experience. Such a wonderful shloka, and Vignesh brought that experience once again. Thank you, Vignesh, for that. But from such a nice bhakti, we have moved into something more mundane. I'm not even sure whether we should have such programs in such a nice, satsanga that is going on. Nevertheless, Subbu Bhaiya has announced, so we have to do it. So this Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum, such a wonderful concept. It is a great concept. It's a great idea. Great variety of thoughts. I have been, following it. Little bit but I've been following in the program. And of course, great speakers and great Harikatha exponents, budding, emerging, reputed, everybody. So I think Adhyatma Yoga and Indic Academy has done a wonderful initiative, and this must continue every year. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum must be an eternal event. Coming to the topic that I wanted to talk. Question is, where is this Krishna and Sri Krishna and management? There is so much of bhakti and, that Maitri Bhava, You have the, Rasa Krida. So many things are there. Of course, so where is this Krishna and management? Of course, before we get into it, it is very important for us to understand there is a difference between an Alpajna and a Sarvajna. See, Krishna is Sakshat Vishnu Avatara. Therefore, there is a difference between a Sarvajna and an Alpajna. For a Sarvajna, you can take any dimension. See, for you and me, for example, I am simply a professor of management. My expertise may be a little bit in management, and it ends there. And that can also be a very, very small proportion. For somebody, it may be, a little bit of expertise somewhere. When you say Sarvajna, that means that personality, that Avatara Purusha, by the very Avatara and by that spending time out of infinite compassion to mankind, every moment, every dimension of what you can conceive in this universe, you will find in that personality. You will see bhakti, you will see jnana, you will see upasana, you will see secular thing, what not. That is the definition of a sarvajna. So that is where the whole thing is coming. Now, the moment people say Krishna and management, it has become very common, and Bhagavad Gita seems to be a very natural platform in which we could see a lot of these wonderful Leela of Sri Krishna from a secular perspective also. So let us start with this very fundamental idea of management. I am not going to throw any jargons. I think that is not our interest. I think we want the sukshma. We want the essence of what we want to, get out from today's talk. So what is this management? Moment you say management, then there are a few things that comes to anybody's mind. You don't have to have an MBA. You don't have to know anything, any jargon. It's a simple yukti. It is a simple common sense. Management means it should involve more than one person. That's what we all think. The moment you have multiple people, there are more than one person whom we are dealing with in our day-to-day life. There are multiple people, there are multiple processes. There are so many things happen. Life is quite complex. Even to organize this 1 month of Krishna Mande Jagadguru, I know what Subbubhaya would have gone through. I mean, at the end of it, we all are writing chats, everything is nice. I agree with you, but it involves multiple processes, it involves multiple resources. And of course, moment you talk of management, another thing that comes to my mind is decision-making dilemma. Decisions are not easy in life. Whether it is at home, whether it is at office, whether it is at a satsanga, or whether it is at a common social service, let it be anything. There are a lot of decision-making dilemmas in life. It's another aspect of management, if one were to think. And management comes into play only when there is a thick of action. See, if there is no action, why do we need management? If all of us are in Nishtha and in complete Samadhi, in Krishna Samadhi, we don't need management. Why do we need management? Only because, we are in pravritti, we do things, we involve people, we want to do a few things for the mankind. So many such things really drive what is called management. So management is where there is thick of action. So that is another thing that we can think of. Now, given all these, there are so many people to be sort of handled. You have multiple process, you are in the thick of action, then a few things come to our mind. We say we want to do things effectively. Otherwise, sarvam vyartham bhavati, everything is waste. If we are not able to, if we take up a job and if we don't do it properly, what is the point? So we want to do things little effectively. We want to meet some objectives. See, at the end of it, when you do something, we want to achieve something. We set, in management parlance, people talk about, setting targets, for example, and they say, can we meet the targets? Can we work for the targets? These kinds of things are there. And the objectives can be not just necessarily, an organization which becomes better or a manager becomes better. They are all very lower level objectives. I think one broader objective, which Sri Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, is Loka Sangraha. Whatever we do, the ultimate objective is larger social good and welfare. So this is all some of the terms that came to my mind moment, you say management. These are some of the words, and I am sure every one of you can relate to this. This happens at home. Don't think management is something which has to happen only in offices. That is a poor understanding. Management is required for us to live in many ways. So everyone can understand all these. Now, to achieve all these that we have said, how to break the dilemmas, how to do this, how to do that, finally, how do I meet the objective of Loka Sangraha? So this is a question which is at the centerpiece of management. Whether you go anywhere and take whatever degree, you go to any place in the world, this is what they are talking. Now, what is so refreshingly good and what is so beautiful that you see in Krishna, which express itself through the Mahabharata war. All his management skills expressed through the Mahabharata war at the end of the day. There was this decision-making dilemma. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you see, after the 20 shlokas, Senayor Ubbayor Madhye Ratam Stapya Me Chuta. Moment Arjuna said, can you please bring this chariot in between the two warring groups? The decision-making dilemma started. Huge decision-making dilemma. Rest of chapter 1 is all this, very beautiful way by which very logically and systematically Arjuna actually argued why it doesn't make any sense to fight the war. And in the 46th shloka of chapter 1, which is the penultimate shloka, Visrijya Shasharam Chapam, he just threw all his gadgets, his Gandiva and everything. Shoka Samvigna, he was all stooped in great shoka, and then he sat. That was the end of the story, so to speak. Bhagavad Gita started there. So therefore, here we needed somebody who had to come out and manage this decision-making dilemma. So like this, everywhere it is there. It is all there in our life. So this is where we find some greatest ideas that Sri Krishna has brought. And as I told, out of his compassion for us, he organized it so nicely in the form of Arjuna Krishna Samyoga, Samvada. It's called Samvada because Vada is different from Samvada. So it's a Samvada. So it is not for Arjuna. I mean, although the context looks like that, it is not for Arjuna, it is for you and I, it is for every one of us. And there you find some of the greatest inspirational ideas that Sri Krishna has, and one can go on and on and on. Every shloka one can take and, spend a lot of time showing how it can make enormous impact on us from all these dimensions of life. So anyway, now today what I am going to do, because this is such a vast ocean on which I have been swimming for the last 20 years endlessly. Titirshuho dustaram mohad udupena asmi sagaram is what Kalidasa said. It is like that. I just dipped into it some 20 years back and it is endless, going on and on. So today I am going to just take, because this personality, this Avatara Purusha called Sri Krishna is so versatile, and this Bhagavad Gita has so much. We have to be very careful because we have to just pull one string out of it and try to make sense of it, that itself can give us enough of profundity of thought. So that is what I have attempted today. So the position I am taking today is, if management is all about all these things and we achieve so-called objectives of what we want to do in the name of management through work, then it's all about what do we do about this work? What do we know of work in the first place? How do we approach work? And how do we do, etc., etc. It's a very rich discussion. While modern management is grappling with ideas, they are trying something. Sri Krishna's ideas are diametrically 180-degree on the other side. And it provides such a refreshing thought that we will have to dip into it. So, considering the time, I am just going to take what let me call as 5 golden principles of work. There are any number. I am just going to take just 5 golden principles of work. The first problem with our understanding, the first problem in management is our inability to understand what is work. Today we think work means, I am the boss, or I am the head of the family. I have all the resources. I have the power. I have the entitlement of resources. I can command. I can employ people. This is what we think. I mean, predominantly our understanding of work is like this. And therefore we think, oh, I have the money, I have the people I can employ, I have the know-how, and therefore I will succeed. Unfortunately, it is a very simple, although the current management is very elaborately talking it, this is a very simpleton understanding, very simple understanding or simplified understanding of work. Now, Sri Krishna has in one shloka brought the entire architecture of work. So we will start there. The shloka is at the end of the Bhagavad Gita. So we'll go there first. So in chapter 18, he gives such a beautiful definition of what comprises work. So let us look at that shloka. He says, Adhishtanam tata karta, karanam cha pritak vidam, vividas cha pritak cheshtaha, daivam cha atra panchamam. So Sri Krishna says there are 5 things which make up work. Now, what are those? He says Adhishtanam. First of all, he says Adhishtanam. If you have to do some work, what is required is a sort of a mandate. See, somebody must allow you to do the work. Somebody must say, you are now supposed to do the work. I'll give you all the resources. This is called Adhishtanam, the base, the substratum. For us, any work we want to do, we need a mandate, we need a substratum. So Krishna talks about it, Adhishtanam. Tata karta. You need a doer. Doer meaning it can be a CEO, it can be somebody who inspires 100 more people and get the things done. So, for this Krishna Mande Jagadgurum, our karta is Sububaya. He will, get people, resources, people, and make sure it is happening. So, karta. Then karanam cha pritak vidam. If you want to accomplish any task, you need different equipments. You need a tool. You need it all depends on the kind of work. Even if you want to do a cooking, you need a stove. You need some patra. You need the whatever raw material required. All that. So whatever work you do, there is a karanam required, which is some gadget which makes the whole job better. Because Panini says sadhakatamam karanam. Karanam will only make your job easier and better. Then vividascha pritak cheshtaha. Cheshta means, in a management parlance, if I have to use it, business process. We say business process. If you have to do a job, there are so many processes involved. And they are all different. Pritak, cheshtaha. All these processes must run properly. Now, in modern management, they stop here. They stop only with these 4. They say you need a mandate, you need a champion, you need gadgets and instruments and whatever facilitating mechanisms, you need business processes, which is the know-how. But Krishna says, Daivam cha atra panchamam. He says, you can't, work is not consisting of these four. There is a fifth element called Daivam. And if you ask me, what is this Daivam in work? And this is true of every day-to-day work that you do at home also. You have to remember this. Daivam means there is some divine component which finally decides what will happen to the work. Whether the work will fructify or not, whether the work will succeed, whether the work will even start. See, we may prepare everything, finally the work will not start. And we have any number of examples in a corona time, we know. So many things have scrapped because the Daivam is playing differently now. So Krishna says that don't think if you bring your know-how, you bring your people, you have the power, you have the building and you have the computer and everything, things are going. I mean, this is where we are stuck. We have not understood that there is a larger force which is rolling the dice. And finally, that decides what will happen, whether this work will succeed, to what extent it will succeed. We need to understand this very clearly. If we miss this wisdom, which is what most of us, most of the world, because we have this modern understanding of work. If we miss this wisdom, then we will be in no position to take disappointments which comes out of work. See, one foreigner asked me, sir, why are you telling Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti? For everything you are saying Om Shanti, 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 Trivara. I said that this Daivam, Daivam can play in many ways. That's why I brought this idea. See, you have what is called Adi Devikam, Adhyatmikam, Adi Bhautikam. There are three kinds of disturbance. Our ancestors have elaborately thought about many of these. Disturbances can happen three ways. Okay? One is called, let's say, Adi Bhautikam. Adi Bhautikam means what will happen is the Panchabhutas can create. For example, I'm going to write an exam. I have prepared so well. Thoroughly I have studied. And today morning I got up and I find that, there is a cloud burst in my locality. I cannot even step out of my house. It's a national level test. And then I did not write the test. That's the end of the story. Bad luck. Cloud burst, rain, earthquake, tsunami, whatever you call it is. It's all called Adi Devikam, sorry. It's all called Adi Devikam. These are all larger forces. Then you have Adhyatmikam. Something that happens because of you yourself. Now, I got up today morning, I have got a heavy fever. I don't know from where it came. Yesterday night, it was fine. I got up today, I have to attend a meeting and I am having a stomach pain and dysentery or something. I can't even move out of the house. That's it. Severe headache, I'm not able to get out of my bed. Nobody knows why it is happening. Doctor can only find out what can do after it has happened. Nobody can tell you why it happened today morning at 8:15. Then you have Adi Bhautikam, people around you, the bhutas around you. Suddenly your neighbor comes and creates a problem for you, some obstruction somebody makes in the next house, you could not cross that road, something happened, you missed something. So these kind of three types of disturbances, adrishtas, they are all adrishtas. Because of that, we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And what I'm saying is we don't have to be pessimistic. It is not being pessimistic, it is being realistic. So work has a component of the Lord. The Lord will roll the dice and that will determine what will happen finally. So that is what the first principle, we have to understand the basic structure of work and outcomes, because outcomes is not in our hands. That's why Krishna has said, Karmanyeva adhikaraha ma paleshu kadachana ma karma pala heturbo mate sangastva karmani. He said that. Now, if this is what it is, if this is the first principle of work, then there is a second, if somebody is aware of it, if somebody understood this is the nature of work, whether you do it at home, whether you do it outside in your office, with your friend, here and there, social service, let it be anything. If this is what it is, then the wisdom moves one step forward. And what is that? And that is the outcomes we do not know which way it will happen. Of course, we all want to aspire for good outcomes. We should continue to aspire. But outcomes can be different. So the question is, what do I do now? How do I handle it? This is a question that will come. If I develop this wisdom, how should I change myself? Sri Krishna has a beautiful shloka. I will go to that shloka in chapter 2. He says, Sukha dukke same kritva, labha labho jaya jayo, tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Krishna says, if you understand Daivam Chatra Panchamam so well, if you really understand that is the underlying pattern of work, and work has its own variations of outcomes, then he says, Sukha dukke same kritva. In fact, I should let me go the other way. It says, Sukha dukke same kritva, labha labho jaya jayo. Let us start with jaya jayo. Jaya and ajaya. You can win or lose. This is called outcome in management parlance. Now, mere outcome is no meaning. Just to give you an example, I am a marketing agent. Last year I did 10 crores. This year I did 12 crores of business. Have I done well? I don't know. It all depends on what is my target. So it is not Jaya and Ajaya. It is Labha and Alabha. Have I met? It is beneficial? I'll give you another example. Operation success. Patient survived or not? So mere success of operation is not what is. Jaya and Ajaya is one. But that, if you put it into a measurement framework, you get Labha and Alabha. It is a profit or a loss, or a gain or a loss. That is the second thing that can happen. Out of that comes your feeling, that is called Sukha and Dukkha. So there is a Krishna has put it in that order. And he says, Sama Sukha Dukke Same Kritva, Labha Labho Same Kritva, Jaya Jayo Same Kritva. You have to understand all these can happen in life. Develop that sense of equanimity. He calls it as equanimity. Develop that sense of titiksha bhava. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Fight like that, oh Arjuna. We are all fighting our day-to-day life. It is like a fight in some way. So it is advice to us. Handle your events in life by sukha dukke same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. All these work and work-related issues will not affect you anymore. So that is the second golden principle that Sri Krishna says, and these are all extremely important. He brings a very interesting and an important principle called titiksha. Titiksha is samatva bhava. He says, matra sparshast kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkataha agamapayino anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. We have to develop this. We have to constantly think about it in our pravriti. Life will throw all its ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster ride. Unlike today's Western education, which all of us are being taught, where we are told only good things will happen. And we have to aspire only for good things. Only good things will happen. And the moment you train your mind so much like that, what will happen? The slightest disappointment, people get into deep trouble. That is what is happening today to the youngsters and all people. They are not able to take the slightest amount of disappointment. If we can't take slightest amount of disappointment, what titiksha we have built? Life is a roller coaster ride. That is what Sri Krishna is telling us. And if we want to understand that, and if you understand that so well, so the first principle is there can be uncertainty in what you do. That's the first principle. Second principle, Krishna says, therefore, develop a sense of equanimity, mental equipoise. Now, if you are able to develop a little bit of that, the question is what will happen? Suppose I'm convinced of all these, thanks to the grace of the Lord, I somehow got a little sense of all these, then what will happen? So there comes the third interesting idea, principle, which Sri Krishna again tells us, available in chapter 3. There's a nice shloka. He says, Yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. So he says, Yajnartat karmanah. Yajnartat karmanah. Anyatra lokaha ayam karma bandhanah. He says, if you have understood these fundamental first two principles of work, then you will develop a frame of mind in which you will do work with a yajna bhava. Yajnartat karmana. Anyatra, if you do anything other than that, if you don't bring a yajna bhava to karma, and if you do in any other ways, that's why he said, Loko ayam anyatra. In all other possibilities of doing work, other than doing work with a yajna bhava, he says, anyatra karma bandhanaha. You will be tied to the work. You will get tossed up and down because the work has thrown its own challenges on you. Results go down, then you get upset, you get depression, you get hypertension, you get diabetic. Whole world, India has the largest number of diabetic and hypertensive patients in the world. More so, India has the largest number of diabetic and hypertension in the age group of 20 to 30. I don't know whether you call it as development or you call it as a utter failure of our understanding of development. And why is it happening? Because work is affecting us. Work is affecting us, that is called karma roga. If work affects us, it is called karma roga. Because karma leads to roga, diabetes, hypertension, and mental tension, depression, and so on. Whereas if you do work with yajna bhava, it is called karma yoga. So Krishna says, do karma yoga, don't get into karma roga. Now, what is this karma yoga? That is the second line. Tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. Don't get too attached with the results. Don't get so tensed up with the outcomes. If you get so tensed up with the outcomes, then karma will become roga. That's why he says mukta sanga. Stay a little bit. Stay a little bit and do the work. So I call this third principle, which Sri Krishna brings to the table, I call it as a spirit of detached attachment. See, I'm using two words here. It looks like an oxymoron. You use a word detached and you use a word attached also. Krishna is giving such a beautiful idea to us. He says, do work with the spirit of detached attachment. What is this detachment? What is this attachment? Attachment is put your best foot forward. This work has to be done. I have been given this work. I have been endowed to do this work as part of an organization, a part of a family, as a part of a group. So let me put the best foot forward. Commit my 100% into the work. That is called attachment. And what is detachment? Detachment is when the results come, take your hands off. Develop such a detachment when the results come. Mukta sanga samachara, tadartam karma kaunte, mukta sanga samachara. So therefore, the third principle is that we should attempt to work with the spirit of detached attachment. That is what Sri Krishna is saying in chapter 3. This is a beautiful shloka, 9th shloka in chapter 3. So that takes us to the fourth principle of work. Somebody understood the challenges of work. Somebody developed a mental equipoise. Therefore, somebody said, I will do work with a spirit of detachment. And the question is, so what? What will happen? The same chapter, in chapter 3, there is another beautiful shloka in which so beautifully Sri Krishna says, what will happen to such a person in life? See, we are all working. And today people are talking about a second career, third career. Up to the age of 75, 80, they are working. Work has taken such a central position. So the question is, I keep asking this to my students. I run a course on Gita and ask my students at AM, tell me what do you want to do after 50 years when you hang the boot one day? You worked 2 careers, 3 careers, whatever. One day he said enough. Now, what do you want to do on that day? How would you judge that it was all worth that you worked for 40 years, you took a degree, you did a postgraduate, you did this, do that, and work. What did you achieve at the end of it? Sri Krishna gives us ideas on that. He says, Na karmanam anarambat naishkarmyam purushoshnute, nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadigacchati. He says, what will happen to a person who actually kept on working with this spirit, these 3 principles he talked about. Na karmanam anarambat, without starting the work. Which way? The way Sri Krishna is saying, not in any other way. I say, I will put my effort, I'll thumb the desk and say, I want the results. Not that. It's not that kind of work. We are all doing, many of us are doing that kind of work and then destroying ourselves in the process. These 3 principles is what he is talking. He says, if you start like this work, what will happen? Naishkarmyam purushoshnate. You will reach a state of naishkarmya. Naishkarmya is not running away from work. That's not naishkarmya. That's called no karma. It is not naishkarmya. Naishkarmya means that you are able to work and the work does not do anything to you. It doesn't affect you in any ways. That is the state of naishkarmya. So in Ashtavakra Gita, there is a very nice shloka. He says, Pravrittirapi nivrittirapi mudasya pravritti upajayate pravrittirapi dhirasya nivritti palabhagini. He says, for a Muda, nivritti, he is doing nothing. But he feels as though he is so tired of working. Nivrittirapi mudasya pravritti upajayate. It is as though he is all the time doing some work and he is so tired. Whereas for a dhira, for somebody who is wise, who has mastered the art of doing work, pravrittirapi dhirasya nivritti palabhagini. He will work. He'll work, but he'll never feel tired. Great people are like that. This our ex-president, Abdul Kalam, our ex-president, all the time he used to work. All the time. But, they never get tired. That's what Krishna is saying. Naishkarmya, that is called Naishkarmya. See, we all should work only for that goal. We should reach that state. That Naishkarmya is what we should achieve. We need promotions. They are all very low-level ideas. I want promotion. I want one more increment. Please do all that. But don't spoil your health on these petty matters. Krishna is telling us, Naishkarmyam Purushaha Shnute. So, you do work in these 3 principles, work will become a tool for self-evolution. People can self-evolve. People can reach the pinnacle of self-evolution. That is why we are all born. We are all born not for this promotion and this, post, and that's what we're wasting a lot of our time. We must do all that. That is part of the world that we must do. If we follow Krishna's principles, we will see that work will actually, make us pure. Chitta Shuddhi will happen. Through work, we'll get Chitta Shuddhi. This is the greatest medicine Sri Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita. Through Karma Yoga, you'll get Chitta Shuddhi. Today, with work, we get so corrupted in our mind. We get all kinds of problems. We get health issues. We get Irsha. We get jealousy. Whereas Krishna's recommendations will get Chitta Shuddhi for us. Work will give us Chitta Shuddhi. So that's what he says. Nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadigacchati. You don't get siddhi by simply sannyasa. Throw everything without working. You avoid all the work and run away to some other place. He says that is not what it is. You get siddhi only through work. And that work is done with these golden principles of work that he is talking. This is the 4th principle. Now, ultimately, if we really followed all these, and this is how we understood Sri Krishna as the greatest exponent of work, which is so central to management, ultimately what will happen? What is the effect of all these? That he says in 18th chapter. Again, we'll go, but we started with the 18th chapter. Let us go back to 18th chapter and let us try to understand what it is. He says, There's a beautiful shloka in chapter 18. It says, Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam jagat swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim viddati manava. He says, such a person who followed all these principles of work, if he led his life like this, and he takes everything in his way, in his stride as like this, yataha pravrittihi bhutanam yena sarvamitam tatam, because this whole engagement in the world is all coming from the Lord. We are all, nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. I mean, we are all playing different roles, but let us not get into that ahankar. We are all playing different roles because these are all ordained in a very big way by the Lord. Yataha pravrittihi bhutanam yena sarvamitam tatam swakarmana. If we understood this principle, then swakarmana tam abhyarchya, you offer work as worship to the Lord. We offer work as the puja to the Lord. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya, do archana through our work. Whatever work we have been asked to do in the samaja, let us do it. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. That is how we ultimately liberate. So this is what Sri Krishna has said about work. I have put these 5 golden principles. All that we need to do is diligently follow these 5 golden principles. Get into our work. We have been ordained to do some work or other. We are part of the society. Sri Krishna has never asked us to run away from work. We are all to be part of this. Do it with a great sense of, offering to the Lord. Siddhim vindati manavaha. Now, if we have completely mastered these are all what I call as outside management, where all my definition of management I will now destroy. All these definitions of management is for the outside world. You need more than one people, you need multiple process, all that which I said at the beginning. We'll master all that. Now, Sri Krishna also says that if you mastered all that, then you will start mastering your world inside. You will start self-management. For which one person is enough. You don't need a second person. It's all about yourself. And you will manage yourself. Uddharet atmana atmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmaiva bandhuhu atmanam atmaiva ripuratmana. So Sri Krishna has talked about self-management also. Not just managing the outside world. The entire chapter 6, Atma Samyama Yoga of Bhagavad Gita, is all about how do I manage myself. How do I take control of myself and see that bliss in me? See the Lord Narayana in me. That is also what Sri Krishna has said. I thought with these thoughts, I would probably stop here. I think 8:30 is too late. We should not go beyond this. So I think I will stop here with these few thoughts that Krishna wants us to work. He does not want us to run away from work, and work is worship. And if you do it, karma will never become a roga. Karma will become a yoga. Karma will not become a boga also, because boga leads to roga. So it is all karma yoga. Thank you for this time, Subbu Bhaiya. I think you are doing a great job. Advaita Academy and Adhyatma Yoga, I think it's a great Loka Sangraha. Let it grow in great measure. I pray to Lord Krishna for giving us more and more of these in the days to come. Thank you. Harihi Om.
Namaste. Dhanyavad. Thank you so much for enlightening us on these 5 wonderful principles of work. And rightly, as you summed up, it's about the external management and the internal management both coming together is what Shri Krishna brings to us in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as rightly Professor Mahadevanji had brought to us. And we have with us our Guruji, Shri Raghuramji from SVasa, from Yoga Bharati also, who had joined. My humble pranams to him, who is my mentor. So for this session, and a lot of stalwarts, our great yoga guru Shri Nagesh Rao and Srimati Suma are also here with us from Prasanna Viranjaneya Yoga Center at Mahalakshmi. and Srimati Vasanta Lakshmi from Samvit Research Foundation. And also today we heard about Sudama and Krishna learning from Sandipani Maharishi, and we had Srimati Rohini Chakravarti, the founder of Sandipani Gurukulam at Bangalore, who is also going to talk to us in one of the sessions, also being today as a part of the audience. We have Sri Rajesh ji from Youth for Seva. So I think all wonderful organizations are very well represented in this session today. So to celebrate Krishna's glory and greatness. And of course, as rightly Mahadevanji said, it is in the beginning, it's a session for experience and not much for our intellectual explorations. So I'm not going to lead into any other further interactions or questions and things. And with this Sandesha that we have heard from Shri Krishna, from the Gita, so we will try to go with this Krishna Leela Smaranam that we got through the Harikatha and Krishna Sandesha Smaranam that we got through the lecture of Professor Mahadevan, with which we will go into the experience with Krishna. And before we conclude today's session, I would like to share about tomorrow's most awaited session, which is the Harikatha musical discourse on Krishna, the global phenomenon, by Srimati Vishaka Hari, a world-renowned exponent of Harikatha. In fact, the past 7 days, we have been hearing all her disciples, the Sishyas of Vijayashri School of Harikatha, started by her, and you have all seen how the Sishyas brought in this. So, all of them put together and much more is what we're going to experience tomorrow. So 2 hours, it's only the same session, one session of Srimati Vishaka Hari. And also in the end, I have requested Mani to answer any of our questions connected to Krishna or the scriptures or contemporary thinking and all. So if there are any questions that you would have for Srimati Vishaka Hari, I would request you to share it to me before tomorrow morning 8 a.m. Any questions that you would want to ask Srimati Vishaka Hari, I request you to share it before tomorrow morning 8 a.m. To my WhatsApp number. I would share my number here so that directly you can share it to me, 9900450407. Oh, we also have Padmareka ji from Bharatiya Section Mandal and various wonderful organizations which is being represented attending the session today by Professor Mahadevan ji. And tomorrow it's going to be again divine experience listening to our Guru Srimati Vishaka Hari. So don't miss it. And please bring all your young ones, the kids, it could be children, the young adults, college going youth. Try to get them to hear her and then they would be hooked up. I know rather they would get addicted to hear such discourses and all. And so don't even miss to get your younger ones to listen to Srimati Vishaka Hari tomorrow. It will be in English. And let's all hear. I have already shared the link. Zoom link is different for tomorrow's session. I have already shared you the link. The link is already shared in the WhatsApp groups and your individual numbers, which I have. In case some of you don't receive our messages, please do share me your mobile number, the WhatsApp number, because tomorrow we are not going to share emails. It's going to be shared via the WhatsApp things. Also, if you want to get it in email, you can text me your email. The Zoom platform, which usually we use, has a problem, technical error, and therefore we are doing it in a different platform. Therefore, the link for tomorrow will be different. I have already shared it to all the contacts we already have. So we also can watch it in YouTube, in Vijayashri School of Harikatha YouTube channel, as well as Advaita Academy's YouTube channel as well. So once again, I share you the number where you can share your WhatsApp, the 8088811558. Please do share your numbers to this number, requesting for the link for tomorrow for the live Zoom session, and we would be sending you. And if you have any questions particularly to ask Srimati Vishaka Harimani, please do share to me in the number which I have shared. In either of these numbers, you can share as well. Before 8 a.m., any questions after 8 a.m. will not be encouraged. And there'll be a wonderful session which he will be presenting. And tomorrow happens to be Radhashtami. We started it with Krishnashtami 14 days back. And tomorrow is again the Sukla Paksha Ashtami, Bhadrapada Sukla Paksha Ashtami, which is Radhashtami, the birthday of Shrimati Radharani. So when I asked Vishaka Mani, I didn't look into the Titi Vara Nakshatra or anything, her convenient date in English, which was 26th of August, which she said. And afterwards, when I started looking into the Panchangam and all, it coincided that it happens to be Radhashtami. So what more than having Vishaka Hariji to speak on Radhashtami? So it is a blessing. We wanted her to start on the Krishna Janmashtami itself because of the Paranur Brahmotsava, she couldn't join. So it's a blessing in disguise that we are getting on Radhashtami. We are getting our Vishaka Mani tomorrow. So once again, with this, I thank each and every one of you who have taken your time to join as a part of this festival. And especially my thanks to today's presenters, Vignesh Chandrasekharan from Vijayashri School of Harikatha. For the Harikatha he performed at the beginning, followed by an enlightening talk on the management insights from Shri Krishna by Professor B. Mahadevanji. And thanks to Shri Raghuramji and all the gurus who have joined here. The gurus are more than the Sishyas, so get your Sishyas as well. I request all gurus who have joined us, each and every one of you. There are thousands of people who follow each one of you. I can put my, there is no collar here, but still my collar up that all such great gurus are watching this program, they are participating. So that is a great privilege, blessings that you are showering upon me. I request each guru to share to all your Sishyas, Yam Petra Inbam, Pirigayu Vayagam. So with this, thanking each one of you, we conclude with the Utsava Geetam, Krishnam Vande Jagadguru.
जय यदुकुलतिलक भगवन्यमुनातीरचर देवकी स्तुत वसुदेवसुत माधव मधुरमन स्वामिन् मामवने जय यदुकुलतिलक भगवन्यमुनातीरचर देवकी स्तुत वसुदेवसुत माधव मधुरमन स्वामिन् मामवदेववर माधव मधुरमन स्वामिन् मामवदेववर नन्दानन्दकर गोपी जनहृदयायतन शकटासुरमुख सुररिपुसूदन नागभोगनटन बहुधारा प्रियकरण नागभोगनटन बहुधारा प्रियकरण कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हलधर वरसहज तरुण मुरलीधरण नट पल्लविवर्धन मातुलमथन मथुरानगर मथुरानगरपदे मायामोहं मम शमय रुक्मिण्यपहरणं समरे जाम्बवती वरणम् मणिवरसमुदितभामाभरणं विरचितवन्तमहं वन्दे मोहनरूपधरम् विरचितवन्तमहं वन्दे मोहनरूपधरम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वसनेन पार्थं गीतावचनेन परिपालितवान् योगिवरेण्यो धर्मग्लानिहरः शाश्वतगोप्तामनुजान् धर्मग्लानिहरः शाश्वतगोप्तामनुजान् तव लीलास्मरणं कृष्ण शोकमोहरणम् तवोपदेशाध्ययनाचरणं पुनरावृत्तिहरं लोके परमानन्दफलम् पुनरावृत्तिहरं लोके परमानन्दफलम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्
Radhe Krishna. See you all tomorrow again for listening to Srimati Vishakha Hari, Shri Krishna as a global phenomena. Radhe Krishna.